This is Cable 18, the Cherry Hill Public Schools television station.
Good evening and welcome to another edition of the West Report. I'm Rob Branyan.
And I'm Nicole Banks. Yesterday, Cherry Hill High School West held its annual Hall of Fame ceremony. The Hall of Fame inductees are students who have achieved academic and/or athletic excellence in their 4 years here at West. Mark Wolf attended the ceremony.
This is the 27th annual Hall of Fame assembly. This is marked as the first of the graduation exercises. 9 seniors were picked today for their outstanding contribution to school. They were Andrea Kilpatrick, Mike Richardson, Liz Tercey, Ellie Valley, Steve Deninis, Roseanne D'Antonio, Sean Portnoy, Scott Riley, and Joanna Lifshee. I had a chance to talk with Steve Deninis. Congratulations, Steve. Tell me, what is it that you did to get you into Hall of Fame?
Well, I just participated and was really enthusiastic about participating. I just did things that sounded fun. Like I got involved in theater, and I played football, which I really enjoy. And then, just at that led on to other things like Thespian Society and Pavis and things like that.
If you could go back, what would be one thing in high school you would be involved in that you weren't?
I think that I would have gotten involved in track, which I never got involved in, because that always seemed like fun.
Thanks a lot. Show the people at home your plaque. That's great. All right, thank you very much. This is Mark Wolf signing off.
Last Friday, February 5th, the International Thespian Society held its annual one-act play festival. Each class had between 20 and 45 minutes to present its play, an additional 15 minutes to both set up and remove the scenery. Plays were judged on acting, directing, technical work, and overall effect, and were judged by experts in the field of theater. The results are as follows. The first place was senior class play, The Tangled Snarl, followed by the junior class play, Louder, I Can't Hear You. The sophomore class came in third place with The Dear Departed, and Wanted Dead or Alive, presented by the freshman class, received fourth place. The Thespian Society presented awards for outstanding achievement in different categories. Best play was awarded to seniors. Best director, Greg Malosky. Best actor, Eric Stoffman. Best supporting actor, Dan Cronin. Best actress, Melissa Bernstein. Best supporting actress, Lisa Freeman. Best set design, Chris Dreyer. And best lighting design, Mark Wolf. Afterwards, the cast and crews of each play had the opportunity to talk with each of the judges and to receive criticism and praise for their work.
So Andy, how did West do in sports this week?
Well, last week was a great week in sports for West. The boys basketball team beat Bishop Eustace on Saturday, then beat Edgewood, and on Thursday they continued its winning ways and rolled over Triton. They raised their record to 15-3. The girls basketball team defeated Bishop Eustace on Saturday, then beat Edgewood. And on Thursday, the team lost to Triton, but their last win qualified them in the Courier Post top 10 of South Jersey. They were ranked number 10. In wrestling, last Wednesday, the wrestling team had their first big win in a while. They beat Triton with a score of 45-19. Senior captain Benny Ramos set a new school record, pinning his opponent in 18 seconds. In swimming news, the swim team won the South Jersey Sectional Championships on Saturday. The team accumulated almost 300 points in their victory. West divers taking first place were Owen Graham, and for the girls, Tracy Forkin. West swimmers taking first place were Kevin King for the 100-meter freestyle, and Chris Krieger in the breaststroke. And that's sports. Rob?
Thanks, Andy. President's Weekend is generally considered at West to be the weekend for school trips. This year is no different. The seniors are going to Florida, and some of our French students are going to Canada. Earlier this week, I had a chance to talk to Dr. DeGisi, who is in charge of the Quebec trip. Where did the idea for a trip to Quebec originate?
Well, over the last few years, the language department traditionally sends its students to Italy, France, and Spain. And because of terrorism in France and the time requirements due to lack of Easter vacation this year, we decided that we would take a trip close to home that was less expensive, and Canada was the place.
Okay, how many students are going on the trip, and what were the requirements for going?
Well, we have 36 students, and the basic requirement, first we opened it to all the students in the French club who wanted to participate. We do have a few students who aren't in the French club because this was also senior weekend we're going, and the band is going to Canada in the spring, so we didn't have quite all the French club members that we wanted, but I think 33 of them are French club members.
Okay, now how is the trip designed to educate the student?
Well, we're going to Quebec City, which, if you're familiar with Canada, Quebec City is in the northern part of the province of Quebec where French is spoken. And so therefore, the kids are going to have to speak French a good deal of the time in order to do business in the stores, in order to ask questions of the people around them. The television will be in French, and all the basic services they need will be in French.
Okay, what are some of the sites they will be visiting while in Canada?
Okay, well, we're going to land in Montreal. So at one point, either coming or going from Canada, we're going to be toured around the city of Montreal and see the interesting sites. In Quebec City itself, we'll see the old city of Quebec, which is the oldest part of French Canada in the Canadian province of Quebec. We'll be seeing the National Assembly, Hotel Frontenac, which is one of the things that's always on a postcard, and the Winter Carnival, which is the big item in Canada right now.
Bonhomme Carnival.
Bonhomme Carnival.
Okay, thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome.
This weekend, the seniors will be going on their annual senior trip to Florida. Elliot had a chance to talk to Dr. Katz about the trip.
Dr. Katz, how many students will be on the trip to Florida this year?
79 this year.
And what special places will you be going?
Well, we'll be spending Friday and Sunday all day in Disney World. It means both parks, Epcot and the Magic Kingdom. And then Saturday, part of the day, will be at Wet n Wild, which is a water park.
What special rules will there that have to be observed?
Well, special rules. At the park, the students are on their own. So we leave them in the morning, and then in the evening, they have to meet us at a certain spot where the bus is waiting. At the hotel, we expect them to be in their own rooms, to be quiet. We are in a hotel where there are other people. No drugs, no drinking. The same rules that would apply to any school-sponsored trip.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Katz.
You're welcome.
This is Elliot Karatny for the West Report.
And now here's Drew Hannes with this week's edition of What's Hip.
Hi, I'm Drew Hannes, and I'm here to tell you what's hip. Sting, that's what's hip. The former lead singer of the Police has gone solo, and he's become very successful on his own. Sting just released a new album entitled Nothing Like the Sun. The first two singles off the album are We'll Be Together and Be Still My Beating Heart. Sting also has two other solo albums out. The first is The Dream of the Blue Turtles, which contains If You Love Somebody, Set Them Free. The other is an import entitled Bring On the Night. It's a live double album which contains some Police songs. After he released his new album, Sting got a band up and hit the road. Touring in with him is Bradford Marcellus, the ever-brilliant jazz saxophone player. He just played the Philadelphia Spectrum last week. If you attended the show, you got your money's worth. It was outstanding. If you can, pick up any Sting album, especially the new one. It's a worthwhile investment. I'm Drew Hannes, and I'll see you next time on What's Hip?
The holiday weekend kicks off with a dance tomorrow night, sponsored by the sophomore class. The cost is $3 and will be held in the cafeteria. Stay tuned here on Cable 18 for the tape broadcast of the Cherry Hill West, Cherry Hill East wrestling match, coming up right after the junior school news.
Thank you for watching the West Report. Please join us again next week at the same time. Good night.
Good night.
Good evening, and welcome to the February 10th edition of EastCast. I'm Lauren Brandt, and here with me is Jason Pekarsky to bring you the recent news of East. Last Friday, February 5th, East Student Government held its annual Battle of the Bands. Each band, chosen from auditions, was allowed to perform for 20 minutes. They were judged by actual musicians. The winning group, which coincidentally was the last group to perform, was Green Eggs and Ham. They received $100, and the second place group, Makeshift, received $65. The night was a huge success for all those who participated and attended. Everyone is already looking forward to next year's. Goodwill Industries has presented a plaque to Cherry Hill East, which reads as follows: in appreciation to the students and staff of Cherry Hill High School East for ongoing support of Goodwill Industries. We will proudly display this new addition to our trophy case. East is also proud of the work of Students Against Drunk Driving. Yesterday, the group had a day of workshops. Here is Nidhi Kapoor with an overview of the day.
Once again, Cherry Hill East proved itself with the great success of the annual SAD regional meeting. The day began with the arrival of 35 schools, over twice as many as last year. Registration and refreshments took place during first period. Next, all members of SAD were invited to attend a general meeting in the auditorium. Mr. Belchikoff addressed the group, and the film Driving Under the Influence was shown immediately following. Afterwards, State Trooper Kenneth Fantozzi spoke to the group about the new laws involving drunk driving. He informed us that the penalties for drug or alcohol-involved accidents has substantially increased. The floor was then open to questions and group discussion. The next topic of conversation was an interesting policy taking place in Greenwich, Connecticut. Steve Hash, along with teenage volunteers from their local high school, sponsor a Safe Rides program on Friday and Saturday nights between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. The program distributes business cards and posters all over the school to publicize Safe Rides, which incidentally are completely confidential and free of charge. Next, the schools were divided, and student guides from East directed them to the various workshops being held throughout the school. One of the workshops featured East's own Respect for Drugs. Following these workshops and lunch, the entire group once again assembled in the auditorium for a general afternoon session. Steve Booth, an extremely powerful and captivating speaker, related his experiences in a drunk driving accident. Finally, to wrap up the day, some representatives from Alcoholics Anonymous discussed their various policies. The day was beneficial and emphasized the need for student support against drunk driving. Remember, you can support SAD too. This has been Nidhi Kapoor for EastCast.
Thank you, Nidhi. East has a new club and you are invited to join. If you are experienced in video camera work, or if you would like to learn to tape guest speakers and events, see Mr. Aaron Grossman in the AV room. This is your chance to receive training in video camera work, so sign up tomorrow in AV. This past Monday, February 8th, the French Club held a very important meeting in which they began planning the international banquet and the upcoming foreign exchange program. This year, the French foreign exchange program at East will be inviting students to come from Provence, France, and live in Cherry Hill for some part of the month of April. Last Wednesday, East selected the new officers for Student Congress. President Andre Hu was ill, but Evan Ringer was able to speak with the other officers.
Good evening. With me tonight is Vice President of Student Affairs Derek Braslow, Vice President of Student Activities Lauren Brandt, Secretary-Treasurer Billy Kramer, and Publicity Manager Joshua Friedman. Derek, could you explain the difference between student affairs and student activities and what you plan to do for affairs next year?
Well, Evan, the affairs part of the school is basically the administrative responsibilities of the school, and also I'll be running the elections in the upcoming year. And I'm really excited about all the affairs that I plan on running next year.
Thank you. Okay. Lauren, what activities do you have in line for next year?
Well, we'll be continuing with all the popular activities from the past, the variety show, lip sync nights, Spirit Week, Battle of the Bands. We'll also be having fundraisers like carnation sales and pretzel sales. And this year we're starting a new program where we're going to work directly with the New Jersey Association of Student Council's charity. And this year it's the Emmanuel Cancer Foundation. And what we're going to stress is that we don't just give financial aid, but also emotional aid, and we're going to work directly with the patients.
What do Student Congress funds go for?
Well, we have two funds. We have the charity fund and we have the Student Congress fund. The charity fund this year will be going to the Emmanuel Cancer Society, as Lauren said, and the Student Congress fund will be paying for disc jockeys and any needed, Student Congress activities that we need to have.
And what's the difference between the main Student Congress treasury and the individual class funds?
Well, actually, there's not really a difference between the class treasurer and me, but the class treasurer just takes care of class money, and I take care of all the school's money and pay bills, and so on.
And Joshua, what are you planning to do for publicity for next year?
Well, new ideas are, everything's been fine this past year. Marcia Spar's done a great job with publicity. I'm glad that she decided to let me take over. But I feel that nothing should be changed. We're going to have new ideas. We have new ideas such as different brushes to use to make the signs easier to read. And basically all I'm doing is taking care of all their publicity work, and that's it.
Thank you. This has been Evan Ringer with Derek, Joshua, Lauren, and Billy for EastCast.
Thanks, Evan. Friday evening, February 26th, Cherry Hill East senior class is sponsoring the first ever Mr. East contest. Each contestant will be judged in 4 categories: formal appearance, informal appearance, bathing suit, and talent. The senior class is hoping the evening will be a smashing success. Congratulations to the chess team for beating the difficult Camden High School team on February 2nd. The junior varsity team won 5-0, and the varsity team tied 2.5 to 2.5. This victory makes Cherry Hill East team #1 in the South Jersey Conference this year, and continues the junior varsity team's 4-year undefeated record. Congratulations again. The varsity negative debate team of Manish Butte and Ted Fisher conquered Holy Cross, and the affirmative team of Larry Zazzo and Jason Alexander verbally slaughtered their helpless opponents. This big victory places Cherry Hill East in first place. Congratulations.
Have you ever wondered what a gobo light is, or how smoke can mysteriously come up from the stage? If so, East Stage Crew Department is for you. Mr. Weaver and the rest of the department are looking for innovative students who are willing to be trained. Get involved for this spring musical Oliver and many of the future shows. See Mr. Weaver backstage for details. On Monday, February 1st, the South Jersey Swim Coaches Invitational was held, and the East Divers did very well. Mort Brown came in 11th place, and teammate John Arcaroli came in first. Congratulations for an excellent performance, and good luck in future meets. Last Saturday, the boys swim team won the South Jersey Swim Meet with an impressive total score of 292.5 points. The next closest rival was 140 points behind. First place and meet records were set by Bill Fulton in the 100 free and Shane Moore in the 100 breast. Other first places were also recorded by Pat Mead and the 400 free relay team of Meyer, Wright, Mead, and Fulton. Also scoring for East were John Shallow, Brad Clemens, Derek Tsang, Joe Cornell, Kevin Biddle, and Eric Marr. Congratulations for an excellent performance. And how about the girls' swim team, Lauren?
Well, Jason, the girls' swim team placed second in the Coaches Invitational meet last Saturday. Meet records were set by Stephanie Schwab, who set 2, and Deidre Lynch, who set 1. Other excellent performances were turned in from Carolyn Martis, Sue Marion, Jennifer Audie, and Cara Minetti. Congratulations and good luck in the future. Thanks, Jason. Love is in the air, and Cherry Hill East is getting ready for Valentine's Day. Carnations were sold in both cafeterias from January 30th to February 8th. These carnations will be delivered in homeroom tomorrow. Have a great Valentine's Day and enjoy the 4-day weekend. We hope the seniors enjoy their trek into the world of Mickey Mouse.
This has been Jason Pekarsky along with Lauren Brandt for EastCast.
Jason, you broke my heart.
For those of you out there who are heartbroken, you can now watch Neil Gerstein and Eric Schwartz commentate yesterday's East-West wrestling match. Tonight we leave you with Ophelia's message of love for Valentine's Day. Say goodbye, Ophelia.
Good evening. I'm Melissa Connell, and this is Carusi News. As most of you well know, George Washington was the first president of the United States, and Abraham Lincoln was the 16th, and they both played very important roles during our history, and that is why we have off this weekend. And now, here's Kim Higginbotham with Carusi Sports. Kim?
Thank you, Melissa. 8th grade girls basketball played Voorhees and won by a score of 16-8. Jensen Park had 6 points, Joanna Elias scored 4 points, and Elisa Skoka, Maria Pignonia, and Barbara Lord a score of 2 points each to round off the score. 8th grade girls basketball played Beck and lost by a score of 24-15. 7th grade girls basketball played Voorhees and lost by a score of 17-20. We also lost to Beck by a score of 28-16. Carusi played Haddon Township and won. The score was 44-27. Carusi wrestling team played Collingswood on Tuesday. We won and the score was 65-17. Carusi wrestling team traveled to Pemberton on Friday and lost by a score of 52-36. Scoring for Carusi were Kyle Young, Bob Bergman, and Eric Russin. On Thursday, Carusi's 7th grade boys turned in the finest performance of the season with a 37-34 victory over our rival Beck. Super defense in trap zone, and a great rebounding job done by Pat Boyce, Brian Gracer, and Jeremy Sunkett. Carusi wrestling team defeated Cinnaminson by a score of 84-17. This match marked the return of Brett Levin with a triumphant pin in the second period. Also scoring victories for Carusi were Wally Archambault, Jay Kiefer, and Kyle Young. Carusi's 7th grade boys lost to Pennsauken by a score of 41-31. The Mini Mustangs played the Indians even until the last 5 minutes of the game. Leading the offense with 12 points was Jeremy Sunkett. Joel Correa scored 6, Brian Gracer 5, John Carpusa 4, and 2 each for Billy Anasuk and Pat Boyce. The Mini Mustangs' record view stands at 6-4 as they travel to Haddon Field today in search of their 7th victory. Kristen Lysak scored 10 points and directed the offense of the 7th grade girls team to lead them to victory over Pennsauken by the score 24-22. However, the victory would not have been possible without the defensive efforts of Gianna Butler. She held Pensauken's leading scorer to 1 field goal in the second half after the opposing player had scored 12 points in the first half. The 8th grade Lady Mustangs defeated Pennsauken with a final score of 23-16. Scoring for Carusi was Barbara Lord with 10 points, Elisa Skoka with 6, Jensen Park with 3, and Beth Atkins and Tiffany Campbell with 2 to round out the score. Outstanding offense and defensive plays by Gina Markhorst, Joanna Elias, Bronwyn Glansberg, Maria Pigonia, Jenna Allen, Kelly Ballman, and Amy Rose. Next Tuesday, Carusi boys basketball will play Christ the King. 7th grade game will be at 5:30 and 8th grade to follow. This is an opportunity for parents and students who can't normally come to afternoon games to see our players in action. And that's it for sports, Melissa.
Thank you, Kim. That's very interesting. Our very first night game. Hope to see a lot of you parents there. Well, tomorrow at 9 a.m., Carusi's band will leave to perform at Kingston School. You people at Kingston are in for a really big treat. And now, here's Scott Engel with a very different interview. Scott?
Thank you, Melissa. Today we have here a very special, well, I know you're not going to believe this, but I'm interviewing a horse. Now, how do I go about interviewing a horse?
Well, let's help you, Scott.
Thank you, Jason. I'm here with Jason Conley, our first school mascot. Not only, Jason, are you our first school mascot, but you're the first animal we've ever interviewed. Now, you're going to have to speak up a little bit because we know you're a little horse.
Oh, God.
So, Jason, how did you get this job?
Well, I tried out in front of all the cheerleaders. They're very beautiful cheerleaders. And I was against like a couple other boys, but it wasn't that bad. It was pretty fun trying out.
Were you nervous the first time you performed?
Oh, yeah, my heart was pounding fast because I didn't even know what to do, but after a while, it was pretty good. It was fun.
How do you feel about now when you do it?
So fun. I can't wait to get out on the field and get the crowd cheering for our team.
Well, why did you take this job?
Well, I thought it would be fun because I've seen other mascots on TV, and it looks like they're having a lot of fun, so I tried out, and I won.
By the way, our school mascot's name is Milton the Mustang. Well, Milton, thank you for trotting on by, and we'd like to give you a small prize for our appreciation. Now, back to you, Melissa.
Thank you, Scott. That certainly was different. Well, last Friday, February 5th, Carusi's very first Valentine's dance took place, and from what I can tell, everyone had a really good time. On Tuesday, 84 students participated in the New Jersey Mathematic League contest. The top scores were determined and then sent to the sponsors. For the 7th grade, the highest scores were Bob Wagner, Joey Chang, Melody Lee, Eric Bender, and Joanne Lowe. And for the 8th grade, Sarah Seliger, Daniel Rabinowitz, Jeff Georgiani, David Watson, Rob Choi, and Adam Ogard. Congratulations to all of you. At this point, I'll say goodnight because Laurie Melson has a very special Valentine's greeting and she will close our show. Laurie?
Have you ever realized how many times during your daily conversation, without even thinking about it, you use the word heart? Now, I'm not talking about medical professionals or volunteers for the American Heart Association, but just ordinary people. The heart does play a big part in our speech. Such phrases as have a heart, heart of gold, kind-hearted, and light-hearted are some of the most common. This Sunday, February 14th, everyone will be thinking about their sweetheart. Let me tell you something about this romantic holiday. Through the years, the question of why we give gifts on this day has risen. Of course, many people had answers, but one of the most interesting theories is that February 14th is the day that birds begin mating. According to this theory, that suggested that lovers should exchange gifts on this day. What started out as a day for sending homemade cards has grown to be quite a big business, probably ranking second as far as gift buying and card sales. So whatever suits your taste, a dinner for two by candlelight, sweets for your sweets, or a simple hug and kiss, all of us at Carusi News wish you a very happy, heartfelt Valentine's Day.
This is Cable 18, the Cherry Hill Public Schools television station.